Kimble Lake actually was probably a little bit late in starting a lake association, probably right around the year 2000. I became president probably around 2003, 2004. Just after that, the DNR was out doing an inspection of one of our neighbors' properties to find out if they would grant him a weed roller permit. While they were doing that on-site inspection, they discovered a few Eurasian water milfoil plants. They did a full lake survey immediately after discovering it, identified a few places where there was plants, and actually contracted to have those plants treated. After that happened, obviously, we realized that we needed to put some sort of a long-term plan in place. We organized some community meetings and came to the conclusion that we needed to put together a lake improvement district for our lake.
We had a cabin on the lake then, and when the LID was formed, but we were just new to the lake. I don't even think we voted on it, but if we would have been given that chance, we certainly would have.
This is a unique piece of legislation that came out of Minnesota that gives various property owners around the lakes a means of generating the funds that they might need to deal with a unique problem that they might have on their lake.
I was on the Homeowners Association board for several years. Now I'm just part of the Aquatic Invasive Species Committee. 4 or 5 of us formed a committee, and that included people from the Homeowners Association as well as from the Kimble Lake Improvement District. And we meet on an as-needed basis to try to figure out what to do on aquatic invasive species. That was the group that decided we needed to start monitoring our access to make sure people knew what they were supposed to do when they came into or left our lake.
Every lake is going to be challenged with the AIS issues from time to time and other issues that might affect the quality of their lake experience. And by having a lake association, you then can marshal people and communicate with people to take the steps that are necessary to do an effective job of dealing with the challenges that you might have.
We have 24 volunteers that have been trained by the DNR to do a good job of inspecting watercraft when they come and when they leave. And we obviously don't want other aquatic invasive species in our lake, and we want to make sure we don't send aquatic invasive species to other lakes as well.
The people that we have interacted with, remind us you're never going to be Eurasian water milfoil free, but you can control it, and the methods that we've been using have been effective in controlling the milfoil. We
decided that awareness is something we needed to increase, not only the people that live on our lake, but the people that use our lake.
Just short of 200 acres, we have 100 property owners approximately. We were able to do an effective job of communicating our concerns and getting people to actively support our efforts.
We'll monitor our access about 1,300 hours a year, which is a combination of hours that the county provides and then the roughly 400 hours of volunteers that spend time at our access to try to talk to people and make sure that they don't leave our lake with AIS and they don't come to our lake with AIS.
It has been incredibly helpful on our lake and one of the neighboring lakes that has Eurasian water milfoil.
I think a lot of people feel that if they don't have AIS, they're going to get it, it's inevitable. I think that's the wrong attitude. I think people should be doing everything they can to try to stop aquatic invasive species from there's a lot of aquatic invasive species that Kimble Lake doesn't have.
The other thing that I would highly recommend to other lakes that have formed associations is to have some emergency funding set aside so when an issue does develop, you have some resources that you can use to deal with the problem.
Our goal is to just continue to improve the awareness and then make it easy for people to know what the right thing to do is.
I am fully aware of the fact that we're just short-term custodians of these waters, and we need to preserve and protect them and improve them when we can for future generations of Americans and Minnesotans.